Yes, yes,
And
yes,
you got. So can you see the notes?
yes, we can.
I'm going to need to change this date. Okay, I'll work on that later. So guys, welcome back. We'll be starting with JavaScript loops today. So now, what do we use loops for? We use it for repetitive tasks. That's tasks that we need to repeat. And while we are repeating them, we don't want to write a function over and over again. So that's where loops come in. They help us to repeat a block of code of codes while a given condition is true. So as you can see here, they said it reduces repetition. It make your code concise. Imagine you have to do a sum of number in a code, right? And you're writing sum, like you're repeating it in the same file, like let's say 10 times. Does it make sense? So when you have a loop now, you can tell it repeat sum while your let's say you have an I for it, or let's say you're even using sum for it, you can say it while sum less than 10, repeat this. So you can do that. You can give it a condition to repeat the statement or a condition. So we use it when a boolean express is a boolean expression that controls repetition. So the body is the code that runs the iteration. Iteration means repetition. So the body of the code runs the repetition, and the control variables, its counters of state change. So so while I less than 10, so this is your counter statement. This is your control variable. Is the one that so when I goes above 10 now, the repetition will stop. So this is what stops. This is your control variable. Then the termination is, so when your I is now greater than 10, your loops automatically stop because now the condition has been met. It is no longer truth, it is false. So while the condition is true, your statement or your condition runs, but while it is false, it stops. So we have different types of loops in JavaScript, but we're starting with a while loop. So a while loop is a control flow statement that allow codes to be executed repeatedly as long as a given condition is true. So a while loops would run a statement as long as what the given condition is true. And it will stop when the condition becomes what false. So see now, if the condition is false at the start, the loop body won't run at all. So now let's count with so I think I don't know, should we let's just use I don't want to start typing every time, so let's just use JavaScript. Okay, so here let's count now equal to 1, right? So while count now is less than or equal to 5, console.log. What's the meaning of console.log, guys, in JavaScript? Can anybody tell me the meaning of console.log? I want to print. Let's print count. Nobody can tell me the meaning of console.log. Then I'm going to increase it. So now let's explain this. Now this is a while syntax. In while syntax, you define a variable. So I'm defining my variable here. I'm saying count is equal to what? 1. So now I'm not giving my condition. While count is less than or equal to 5, then what I want to happen? Print that count. And then I increment it, I increase it, because its count is 1. If I just say print count, then only 1. So I have to increment it. I have to do 1 plus 1 plus 2. Then if you now, after printing 2, increment again, it will increment automatically 3. then 4, then 5. So after 5 now, it will stop because now our condition was what? Less than or equal to 5. So let's run this now and see. Can you see now? So I'm printing my count. So it's incremented to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. So this is how you run a while statement. Do you guys understand? I need answers so we can go on to the next topic, please.
Yes, we
Okay.
understand.
So now we're going to the do while loop now. So the do while loop, this one does not run continuously like um your while. This one at least it must run at least once before because the condition is checked after the loop. So now this is the way we do it. We use the do first. Wow. So the do will contain your statement, right? Then the while will not contain the condition. So now let's do this now. Let's convert this while statement into a do statement now. So the first thing we do in do while is what? Do. What are we doing now? Console.log, we are printing counts. But let me use I for here. Let's say let I equal to 0, right? So let's use I here now. We all have to increment our I. So you can do I plus plus or I plus or equal to 1. It's still the same thing. So I plus plus now. This is our do. So our while is now what? While I less than or equal to what? 5, right? So now we've done this. So now let's run this, guys. So can you see? So now this one is starting from, okay, let me do this. I'm coming. Let me give it a space. Try and see. No, I don't want this. Let me see. Let me see if this will work as a space. So yes, so now we spaced it out. So now, so see this now. I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, this one was starting from 1. Our count was 1, so it's starting from 1. It's going to be 1, then 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2 plus 1, 3. But this one is 0 now, so it's going to be 0 plus 1, blah blah, and so on. So this is your do while loop. Do you guys understand? Guys, do you understand? I'm not going to repeat myself twice. If you don't understand, let me know so I can run it through again. We still have a lot to do, guys, please. Okay. So we're going to for loop now. I guess for loop is like the most popular of all loops. So for loop, we use for loops when we know how many times we want to run the loop. This one is definite, you know. Okay, I want to run this loop twice or thrice. You're building a game or something, or you want to print something. So we use this for loops. So now the for loop, you know, for while and the while, we have to state let I equal to this, then we do this, then we use while, or we say let I equal to this, or we say let I equal to this, then we count our while, then we now print. But for loops, you are doing the iteration at once. We are stating let I equal to we're stating let I equal to this while I equal to this. We're doing everything at once. It's a one syntax um loop. So now this is how we do it. Let's say you want to print. Okay, let's do this now. Let's do this with for loops now. So I'll just say for let. I have to first define first. So I'm defining just like we do here. Let's say j now equal to what? Is equal to 0, right? Now j less than or equal to, or I can say even let's say j less than the same thing as you are saying for. So let's say j less than 5. Then I'm saying what? J plus plus. So now I have to tell it what to print. console.log j. I'm telling it what console.log means what? Print. So I'm telling it print j now, right? So now let's run this. But before I run this, I want to put a space here. So yes, I'm going to use this to put my space. So save it, then we'll do what? We run this. So now can you see the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Because it is less than 5. If I put equal to 5, then it will go to 5 now. But because I'm saying less than, it's the same thing as j equal to 4 or j less than 5. Do you guys understand this for loops now?
Me have not understood.
Okay. So for loops is we declare everything at once instead of going step by step in for loops. Look at the steps you did here. Let count is equal to 1 or let I equal to 0. Now we're just going to go straight in. You define your variable inside the for loops. So you say 4, then you define let j equal to 0 just like you did here. Then what? Instead of when you were using, you're saying while count less than or equal to 5. Here now we just say j less than or equal to 5, or you can say j less than 5 or j equal to 5. Anything you want to say, you say it here, you define it here. J is less than 5. Then we now did what? I plus plus. Look at the way we did count plus plus here. We're just going to do j plus plus. We are doing everything at once here now. So j equal to 0, j less than 5, j plus plus. This is, you will now put inside your syntax bracket console.log. You're printing it now j. So this is how you do a what? A for statement. A for statement, you define everything at once, then you do what? You print after. Do you understand now, Jerome?
Yes, I've understood.
Okay. So now we're done with our what? For statement. So we now have a nested loop. Nested loop means we can put a loop inside another loop. So the inner loop runs completely every time the outer loop runs once. So while the inner loop is running, while the outer loop runs once, the inner loop will run um completely. So now let's clean here up and let's do a nested loop. Okay, so let's use a for to make it faster. Let I equal to 1, right? So I less than or equal to, I'll say 3, I what plus plus. Now so now while this outer loop runs, it's going to tell us this is our outer loop 1, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. So now let's go now. Now I'm going to put the inner loops now. We're going to use J for my inner loops. So I'm going to have for what? Let's say I want to run for my inner loops. Then I'm going to increment it, increase it. Now state what we are printing. So let's print console.log inner loop plus J. Let's save this now. So now we're telling it this is the one that is outside. This is the outer loop. Based on indentation, you can even see it here. So I is our outer loop. I will be less than. Okay, I will be less than 3. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3. They will now have the inner loop. The inner loop is 1 less than 4 or equal to 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 for the inner loop. And remember we said that the outer loop runs once while the inner loop runs what? Completely. So let's run this now and see what will happen. Okay, it has run already. So guys, look at what we have here. So this is our outer loop 1. Inner loop is running completely. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The same thing for the second one, because we have it's still less than or equal to 3, so we have 2. Then the inner loop is what 1, 2, 3, 4 completely. Then the last outer loop, which is what 3. Then the inner loop is what 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand? So this is a nested loop. This is an example of a what a nested loop, a for nested loop. Do you guys understand? Okay. So now you should know that there's also something called infinite loop, and it's a loop that never ends because its condition is always true. We stated that a loop will evaluate and continue running if your condition is true. As long as your condition is keep running, but when your condition turns false, it's what stops, it breaks. So now you can do this on your own when you're programming a code, maybe for servers or for games. You need your let's say your hero in the game to keep coming up when they die or something. So you can set your loop to be true. As long as they die, true, they should come back alive or whatever you're doing. Or it can be accidental due to a logic error, so it can be from your side. So that's why we should make sure we always check our loops before you add them into a code, so that you don't put bugs into your own code yourself. And you can also stop when you're practicing, and when you're practicing or you're checking your code, and let's say it's a logical error, you can stop it by pressing Ctrl C or leaving that terminal. You understand? Then you check your code, correct your mistakes, and then you run it back again. So there are places where infinite loops are useful. We have the game loops, the event listener, or the polling system when you want to vote. Servers that wait for requests, that's async. So these are where what loops are. They are useful. So now let's build a secret code game. So I'm going to copy this and explain it for you guys, because if I start typing, then we'll surpass our 2 hours. So let me save this, and then later on let me explain. So now we have a game. Let me just call this a guessing game now. So I'm defining let guess now. So I'm defining that, okay, we have a guess, but I've not stated what the guess will be. Then attempt is equal to 0. So now I'm using a do while loop now. So I'm telling it do attempt plus plus. We always have to add. So now if attempt is equal to 1, then I'm telling it guess is equal to hello. So it's going to tell you your guess is hello. Else if this is why your statements are important. Else if this is wrong, then it's going to this. Attempt is equal to 2. Guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Our guess is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Or else, this is the last one, open is equal to guess is equal to open 1, 2, 3. Now after your attempt has been made and everything, you've chosen your attempt. Now it's going to do what? Console.log attempts. It's going to tell you your attempt, then it's going to pick the number of attempts you have done. You guessed what? So now attempt is 0, so we are incrementing. It's going to go from 1 to 2 to what? To 3, because now it's going to do 1 because we didn't pick 1. It's going to do 2 because we didn't pick 2. It's going to do 3 because we didn't pick 3. So it's going to say 3, you guessed, then it's going to carry whatever your guess is equal to. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, open 1, 2, 3, depending on this part of the statement you're in. Then while guess is not equal to open 1, 2, 3, console.log, that's print access granted. That means after this last one, after this loop has been ended, print the access granted after how many attempts. So we're telling it that, okay, the total amount of attempts you've done. So now let's do this to see how the practical now. Look at this now. I told it attempt is equal to 0. So now it's starting from what? 1. Because it's doing attempt plus plus. We are not putting the attempts after this now. We're putting it first. So it's going to add 1. So this attempt, I stated 0, now it's going to become what? 1. So it's starting from 1 now. Attempt, you guessed hello, you guessed 1, 2, 3, 4, you guessed open 1, 2, 3. So now it's going to now count. We have 1, 2, 3. Your access is granted after what? 3 what? Attempts. Now let me change this attempt to what? To 1. And let's save now. Then let's run this. Look at this now. Attempt is what? You're doing your what? 2. You guessed 1, 2, 3, 4. You guessed 1, 2, 3. But your count of attempts is stopping at what? 3. So it's stating that access is granted after what? 3 attempts. Do you understand? If I'm increasing this to 2 now, let's run. You see now, we just went straight to the third attempt and we guessed what? Open 1, 2, 3. Access is granted after what? 3 attempts. Do you understand this code, please?
Can you explain again?
Okay. So this is more like a short um game of guessing, but we are not using prompts. Unfortunately, we can only use prompts on our browser. So this one allows, if not, I would have said we should use the prompt to guess. Except if we are linking to an HTML file, we can do that. But right now, we're working on your JavaScript basics. So we'll just go with this. Then later, when we start adding HTML, you can start using your prompts properly. You understand? So let's go straight into it now. We have guess. I'm defining my guess now, but I'm not attaching anything to the guess statement. We're just telling it, okay, something exists and it's called guess. Then I'm telling it let attempt is equal to 0. I've not made any attempts yet. So now I'm not using do while loop. Now do while loop, we're starting with plus plus. We're telling it now attempts plus plus. That means we're adding 1 to this 0. So it's going to be 0 plus 1. So now if attempt is, so now this attempt will turn to 1 if it runs first. So this, according to it now, we're not telling it if attempt is equal to 1, guess is equal to what? Hello. So it will now print attempt 1, you guessed hello based on this statement. We use this to define whatever you want to print, and we are picking this attempt, this dollar sign and this bracket attempt. We'll pick the value of whatever your attempt is and put it here. So if it's because it's going to run 1 first, so it's going to put 1 here. Then you guess, it's going to pick your guess. Whatever your guess, 1 for 1, guess is equal to hello. So it's going to put hello here. For the second guess, it's going to pick what? Because it's going to increment again. After that, you know it's a dual loop. So it's going to increment again to 2. So we have 2 now. If attempt equal to 2, then your guess is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to put here attempt 2. You guessed 1, 2, 3, 4. Then else, which is the last loop, is going to do what? Is going to be your attempt 3, because now you've done 1, you've done 2. Automatically it will count increments to 3. So attempt 3, you guessed what? Open 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we now told it while guess is not equal to, this is not equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. That means when the loop has ended, we should print as access granted attempts. So how many attempts did you do? The last attempt, which is what? 3. So if you put it this here, 3 attempts. So now let's run this so that you see now. Can you see now? Attempt 1, it's picked. You guessed what? Hello. Attempt 2, you guessed 1, 2, 3. Attempt 3, you guessed. If I put this into 1 now, right, and save, the attempt plus plus, it will become 2. So it's going to start from this 2. It's not going to start from 1 again. So let's run. See now, it's starting from attempt 2. And the last attempt is picking the last attempt 3. So after 3 attempts, do you understand now, Dylan?
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Everybody, we are good. Okay. So we're building a nested loop or 5 by 5 grid. No. So we're starting with defining our number. No. We're telling it number is starting from 1. So for a first syntax we are doing everything at once. So now we're defining our row because it's a 5 by 5 grid. So definitely your row should be less than 5 because now your static row is equal to 0. It's going to be starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 5 already because it's less than. But if you want it to be, you can put here 1. If you now put here 1, because it has to be a 5 by 5 grid, you have to put less than or equal to 5 so that it will now go to 5. But we're starting from 0, so we'll say less than 5. Right, guys? Then we'll now increment it after we do our 0. Now we're telling you that line is what? Is equal to this, right? Now, after we define our line will now say we're going to put an inner nested loop of our column. We'll set it equal to 0. We'll do column less than 5, and also increment our column. So now for this inner loop, now we're going to now add this number to string. We're converting this number 1 to string. Then we're not going to add a pad ending of 4. A pad ending means that we're going to add 4 spaces after whatever we printed here. So after we printed our number, we converted our number to string, we're going to add 4. We're going to add 4 spaces with, look, we're stating it now. This is what we want to add, this space now, 4 times. Then we'll now increment our number. So we've now defined our line. So we'll now print console.log. So it's going to first print the first row, the line, add the spaces, then increment it. Let's check how this works out now. Can you see this, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we did what? Plus. So the 0 automatically becomes what? 1. So this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, after this, and you can see your spaces that you defined here, your pad end, this space here. Once if you can calculate this, you see that it's 4 times. Okay, I can't really work on this here because this is our terminal. But can you see? Let's check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 4. So this is your fourth line. So the same thing automatically 1, 2, 3. Then this is your 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So indentation. So now if you check your row now, for row less than equal to 0, so your row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see? And your column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, so for your first row you have what? For your first row you have 1, 2, 3, and the columns are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is what? Less column is equal to 0. Column less than column plus plus. So you're having your 0 automatically plus 1. So we have 1. Then 1 plus 1, 2. Plus 1, 3. Plus 1, 4. Plus 1, 5. This is your what? First column. This is your first row, sorry. Just like this. Your first row. But the columns are 1, 2, 3, 4. Incrementally, you are incrementing them. Then you go to your what? Second row. Starting with 6. Then column 7. Incrementally. Just like that. So this is what? A 5 by 5 what? String printout. We've converted this to a string just to ensure that this can flow in. Do you guys understand? So we're going to loops and arrays. So loops and arrays go hand in hand, right? And we can use it to iterate, to transform, to filter or aggregate data. I already put a concise and a very comprehensive note on the arrays. So check it out if you don't understand your filtering or aggregating data. So just go check it out and check the tutorials out too, in case you've not checked it out. So so everyday examples. When you're counting money in your wallet or you bring out money, you're counting, you're looping through bills. If you're checking exam scores, let's say they paste your exam score now, even from with your eyes, you first look at the first row to check for your name, second row, third row. You're looping through the student list. An online product, when you're scrolling down, you first check the first row, check second row, you're looping. So we have different everyday examples of loops, but now we're going to work with arrays. So now we defined what are the items in our backpack, right? This is your backpack. Now for let I equal to 0, who can tell me what is the 0 item on this backpack? Anybody?
Notebook.
Notebook, very good. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. So who can tell me the length of this now? What's the length of this array, guys? This is
3.
what? 0. Okay, go on. Glody, go on.
Yeah.
Zero.
The length I think it is 4.
It's 4. Can you describe that for me in a for statement? Can anybody find this backpack? This
None,
is
For
none.
me, it's
this can
3.
be I less than I equal to, let's say we can say I equal to what? 0, right? And I less than or equal to what? 3. So this is going to be, oh sorry, yes, it's 3. 0. This is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. Another way is to say what? I equal to what? 1. I less than 5. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 less than 5. Or you could say I equal to 2 less than or equal to 5. So it could be 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you guys understand? Okay, so let's go on. So now look at this. Now we're defining now for let I equal to 0. So we're starting from 0, and I is less than the length of the backpack. So if it's count, because we are starting from 0, it has to be less than the length. So it will take -1. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be I equal to 0, I less than 3, then I plus plus. So that's incrementally. So now we're now printing console.log item. We're going to write item I plus 1. So we want to print item I plus 1 now. So we're going to say I plus what? 1. Whatever your I is now, plus 1. Then plus backpack of I. Backpack of what? I. Whatever your I number. If your I is 0, so it's same thing as backpack of 0. Who can tell me what backpack of 0 is here now?
Me, I think it's notebook.
Notebook.
Huh? Notebook. Very good.
Notebook.
So now that means we are printing them incrementally, one step by step. So we're telling it item 1 is going to be backpack. Item 2, because this is 0, so it's going to add 1 to it. Then item 2 is going to be what? Pen. Item 3 is going to be what? Snack. Item 4 is going to be what? Water bottle. So let's check if our code is correct. Oh, I didn't save it, sorry. So now we save and then we run. So can you see this now? So it's going to print it step by step. Item 1, your notebook, your pen, your snack, your water bottle. Do you understand? Let's check out this example too. Can somebody tell me what this will look like, guys? Based on this code. Anybody? Glody, Jerome, Dylan. I can't see everybody, but anybody, can anybody tell me what this will look like? Come on, guys, this is a while statement. Look at your definition. You have your numbers. How many numbers do we have here? 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is 3, or we can say this is 4, right? Numbers. And your I is starting from 0. While I less than, definitely will be less than, only less than, because if it is 1 now, it will be less than or equal to numbers dot what? Length. Now, you're saying staying console dot log numbers of what? I. You're printing your I now. So if you start from the first number, which is what? 10, then to what? Increment the second number, 20. Increment the third number, 30. And it increment the fourth number, what? 40. So let's check out this. Did I save? No, I didn't. Okay. So look at this now. 10, 20, 30, 40. We are iterating through this now, printing it incrementally based on whatever the position it is in the words in our length. Do you guys understand this?
I have not
If I want
understood.
to print this with ah, Jerome, did you say something?
Yes, I have said that. Pardon on that one.
You don't understand?
Yes.
Okay. So you have your numbers 10, 20, 30 defined. Now you define your I. Now I want to use this I to iterate to go through this thing, this loop, and print it one by one. What is number of 1 here now? Is what? 20, 0, 1, 20. Number of 2 is what? So look at this. So now I'm stating that when I is equal to 0 and I is less than number dot length. So we're telling it that 0, 1, 2, 3. So this should be I is equal to 0 and less than 3. Do you understand? So 0, 1, 2, 3. No. So it should be less than what? 3. Console.log. For each time we are checking the number, we are checking I of 0. Print the number that is there. For I of 0, what is I of 0 now? Number of 0 is what? 10. So if it will first check I is equal to 0. Is it less than? Are we printing? Is I less than the length? Is 0 less than 3? Yes. So print what? Number of I. Number of what? 0. 0 will come here now, which is what? 10. It will check again. It will increment. Sorry, it will increment now. 0 plus 1, 1. What is, so it will now go, is 1 less than 3? Yes. What is the number of 1? That's number of 1 is what? 20. It will print it. Increment again to what? 2. Is 2 less than, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is 2 less than 4? Yes. So like that, like that. So this is how we got this 10, 20, 30, 40. Do you understand now, Jerome?
Yes, I've understood.
Education.
Yes, dial and go on.
If you never assign I equals to 0, is there a possibility that it's going to print from 10 to 40?
If I don't assign I equal to 0, it won't print because then you've not defined your statement. According to the rule of loops, you need to define. So is either I put 0 here, or I can put 1, or if I put 1 here, it will not be less than or equal to, and it will still print the same thing. Let me save this now. Let's check it out. Can you see? I'm coming. Okay, did I save and run this again? Oh, sorry guys, it was my mistake. Okay, so 20, 30, 40. So now look at this now. 1 less than or equal to. So we are starting from 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Numbers that let. Look at this. 20, 30, 40. It's starting from 1, which is 20, then 30, then 40. Because there's no number after this now, it's going to tell you what? Undefined. Do you guys understand this? So you always have to
Yeah.
define your statements by setting let I equal to or whatever you want to use, whether it's count or j or a number, whatever. You have to define first. You want to use a for statement for this now. It's going to be what?
Please, I have a question.
Yes, go on, Glody.
Yes, numbers don't length. What does it mean?
Numbers dot length means the length of of whatever is inside numbers. So this is an array. It's going to count for mathematically we count from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to give you, okay, let's print numbers dot length now coming so that you can confirm. So it's a method. Okay, so let's check this out now. Okay, sorry, number is defined inside here. I came out of the loop. So this is why you have to be careful, because we defined numbers here inside your while. So let me print this here. Or I can even print it here. Okay, I'm coming, guys. Let's remove this. Look at this now. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But normally we start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. So look at this now. You're saying 0 less than numbers dot let. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be printing 0, 1, 2, 3. And this is, what's the length of this 1, 2, 3, 4? So can you see this 4 here? This is the length of your what? Your arrays. Do you understand now? It's just like a method a global method that is accessible in JavaScript. We can use numbers.length. Do you understand, Blair?
Yes, yes, thank you so much.
Okay. So, otherwise already gone, and we're still in loops in arrays. Oh. Okay. So I'll just run through these examples for you. Can anybody tell me what this example will look like? Based on what we've done so far, you guys should be able to visualize this already. What would this look like? Guys, come on. Nobody. What is the color of index? What is our index?
It's going to be red.
0. Index is 0. We are not doing index plus plus first, so it's still going to be 0. So what did we ask you to print here? Colors of index. That's color of 0. And what's color of 0? Red. While what? Index less than colors dot length. So is 0 less than the length of 1, 2, 3? Yes. So it's going to print what's red. Then it's not going to do, after printing red, it's going to do plus plus. Then it will go back again. If it does plus plus, it's going to become 1. So what is colors of 1? 0, 1, green. It will do what? Print what? Green. Then do what? Plus plus, which is 2. 0, 1, 2. What is colors of 2? Blue. It will do what? Print blue. Then if you now does plus plus 4, that's 3. Is this small? Is this less than or equal? Less than what? 3. So it cannot go, because then that will do what? Break the loop. So it's going to print red, green, and blue. That's what it's doing. So let's save and print. Can you see this now? Now I think we have the for each. It's an easier way of printing instead of looping through. Now I have cities: Paris, Tokyo, London. Now this is a what? An array. So I'm using the for each method. This is a global method like length. But now I'm putting in 2 arguments: the index, which is the number, which is 0, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm not naming each of this index now city. So this Paris, this is cities now. So I'm telling you that one of these arrays is called city, and the index is now the position. So this could be 0, this is 1, this is 2, or this could be 1, 2, or 3. So Paris city is going to be index what? 0. London city, this is the city, is going to be index 1. Then Tokyo is going to be city and index what? 2. So I'm not telling it that this is a function. You guys will be doing function next week, Monday. I'll be taking you. So this.
Not yet.
So I'm telling you. Huh? Huh? Glow, did you say something?
I don't know. You was asking if we did function.
No. I said I will be taking you guys next week, Monday, functions. So you understand these arrow functions better next week, right? So this is an arrow function. So I'm telling it prints index plus 1. You know that now we don't have a plus plus. So we have to do what? A plus 1. to increment it. So I'm telling it index plus 1. So it's going to be index plus 1. Then I'm telling it take the city out. The city of index plus 1 will be Paris, then London, then Tokyo. It will now increment it plus 1 again. There's no longer anything here, so it's going to stop printing. Your code will end here. So let's print this. Can you see now? Index plus 1, 0 plus 1, it's giving you 1. Then your dot sign. Then what's the name of the city? Paris. Here. Index plus 1, 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Put it here. Then it takes the city of 2, which is London. Index of 3, that's 3 and what's Tokyo. Do you understand this? Okay. So we're using an in here now. Let's check it out. Now I defined my fruits, an array, as you can see. Now you remember that I'm coming, guys. I want to now look at this, guys. For this, we said our city. Look at this now, it's the same thing. So now I'm using for let we're using let of. So now we have to tell it, okay, fruits. So we're telling it for let fruit of fruits. So we're telling it one of these fruits now is fruit. It's called fruit. We're not looking for everything now. So inside, so we're telling it for let fruit of fruit. So let an index of fruits inside fruits. We're telling it now console.log I love plus what? Fruit. So I love apple. Now let's print this and see. Can you see this now? So this let of, it has an automatical increment. We don't need to add increments. So it's going to print through. And when it gets to the end, it stops automatically. You don't need to add anything. So whichever one you will be using this more when you start coding and going in depth into codes and everything. So you just choose one that you like or you feel is better for you. But we'll still treat this. I think this was treated in arrays. So if you have read your array notes and you watched the tutorial, you should understand this better. So I think that will be all on think looping arrays. Now looping objects. We all know what an object is, right? Guys, you were taught objects already. So I'm just going to, but I'll just briefly explain. This JavaScript, if you missed a class, you have to go back and watch and go through the notes because I arranged this thing step by step. It's systematical. If you don't understand the last session, you won't understand the next session. Because I won't be able to do a in-depth explanation of last session. I'm just going to do, let's say, a summary while I'm explaining. So if you don't really understand the last session, you won't really understand what I'm doing here. So please, if you've not understood arrays, objects, or switch statements, or what was taught in the last class, please go back and learn. So this is called an object. We define an object with this. For arrays we use this, but for objects we use this. So that's like the major difference between arrays and objects. And you can have an object inside an array and have an array inside an object, depending on how complex your code is. But now let's define an array of an object of a person. So this is a person. Now the name of this, we have a name inside this, an age and a city. So this person's name is Aisha. She's 28 years old and she lives in Nicosia. Let me just put Turkey. Because you guys may know. So she lives in Turkey. Now, so now key, the key of, we always have keys in objects. The key is whatever you're stating here, your age, your city, or whatever. Do you understand? So this is your key, always your key. So now we're not saying for const key in person. So we're telling it now this is constant. But I think I can do a straight up for key in person. Or we can say let key in person, like we used the other time. So let me just say let key in person instead of const. I'll save. Let's run this now. Can you see now? So I've find. So I said const.log print the key and the person, and I told you that let and in as a what, an automatical increment. So we don't need to start saying plus plus plus. So we're saying let key in person, that we are putting the key in this now. Console.log key, which is what, the name, then the person Aisha, the age, then 28, person of key, just like person of key. So what is your key now? Your key is what, age. So person of age is what, the value is 28, that's why it's printing 28. Person of city is what, Turkey, that's why it's printing city and what, Turkey. Do you understand this? So now let's do for each. Let's use for each now. I want to add space. So now I'm using object keys and for each. So now we're just going directly here now. We're telling you that the objects of keys of person. Now we already know that this person is an object. So now I'm not telling that for, we are entering this object and the keys of this person. We're not printing for each key. Let's go, let's run it back. We're using this object global class, right? We're not telling it dot keys of person. Now the keys of person, what are the keys? Name, age, and city. We are not printing it dot for each. For each means print one key. So we are printing one key. And when you print one key, that's, we are looking through one key now. So this is a function now. When I say console.log print the key, which is name, then print the person. I'm sorry, print the value identified with the key, which is person of key. So the person of key, Aisha, person of key, person of age, 28, person of city. So this is the same thing as this, but now I'm using the object notation, which is might be a bit complex. Let's save and run. So can you see now it's still the same thing? But for this now, I think this is easier for you guys to grab than this. When you learn functions, I think this will be easier for you to decipher, to understand. So I just put in your one of your tutors added this to the notes. So J's code. So he added this magic methods, object dot keys. So arrays, you're getting the arrays of key. Look at this now, name and age. So this is the keys. Now object dot value. Now Maya, the name of this is Maya and the age is 16. So you are getting the value of your keys. Now the entries now is not giving you key and values together. So you get your name and you get the value attached, which is Maya. Do you understand this, your methods? So now let's look at some examples in action. So now we have test scores. It's an object, right? So English, math, science. I think let's do this, guys. Indentation is very important. So let's indent properly. Now let me add history and arts. So let's save this now. We have 5 courses now, guys. Let's have one loop. So we have English score. Your score is 85. So who can tell me how many keys we have here now, guys, based on this? Come on, guys, how many keys do I have here?
We have 5 keys, I think.
Very good. Very good. We have 5 keys. So we also that then automatically how many values do we have?
I think there are 5.
5. Very good. So 5 keys equals 5 values. But sometimes you might get a null or you might not be stated. So you cross-check your code depending on whatever you need. So now we say that okay, let scores equal to we are using objects. So you first use object of values. So this now before we use keyboard, now we're going straight to the values. And we are using our test score object. You have to tell it whatever object you want to work on. So you put your object, the values, but if it's also key you wanted to work on, you can put your key. Then the object you're working on that has been defined, which is your test score. Now total is equal to 0. Now we're not telling it let score of what scores. So that means score individual. English, mathematics. This is your key now. We didn't use key here. So we're not defining our key ourselves. So for let score of score, so your score is your key of scores, right? Total, we've already put our values of scores. That's 40, 85, 42, 86, 76. So we're telling object of values of test scores. English, we have put it in these scores already. So let's score of scores, then total. We're now looking at the total of scores. So you know that this object of values, we've gotten 85, 42, 88, 76. This is object of values. We are getting only these values. 85, 42, 86, 76. We are not getting this English, mathematics, science, history now. But here now we're defining our keys, which is scores. Okay, so let's score of scores. Sorry guys, we're getting score of scores, which is 85 individually, 42 individually. Because now we're not defining key, we're defining individual values of these scores. Because we used only values here. So we're only getting these values. So that means we're not doing anything with key here now. So let's score of scores. So that's let 85, 42, 88, 76, 55 now. We now say total plus or equal to score. So the total means we are adding all the scores. So that's 85, 42, 88, 76, 55. We're going to add them together to get total. We now said console.log total score is what? Whatever we get as the total of this now. So now let's work this out and see. $346. Can you guys see? So we're getting our what? Total what? Score. Can you guys see this? Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this one. So we have class 1 OB. I think let's add more classes. Let's add one more. So guys, so we have class object of 1 OB now. So this is class 1 OB now. So we have how many keys do we have here, guys? How many keys do we have, guys?
There are 6.
We have two keys.
We have two.
We have
Yes,
six
this is what I want.
objects.
Yes,
We have
this is
6
what I want
objects, but we have 2 keys, name and what? Score.
in the score. Yes.
So this is an array of objects. Can you see the objects are nested inside what? An array. So this is the first array, second array. So we have 6 objects, 2 keys, and we have what? 2 what? Values. Do you guys understand that? No. So now we now say for let I equal to 0, we are getting the length of what? Class 1 OB, which is what? 6. Then we are now incrementing it. So we are telling it that a student now, one student is equal to class 1 OB of I. So I of 0. So the first student is what? Sophia and our score. So it will get this. Now we are now printing. Print student plus I plus 1. 0 plus 1. So this is going to be 1 plus now plus this now. Now let detail in students. Detail. We're now going this class now is taking this object one object. Now this for statement is now letting us enter this object. For let detail, we're now defining our key now. Detail in students. So detail is your key in students. Now console.log detail, which is what? Let's say name plus students detail. Detail is now student detail is now what? Let's say name Sophia Martins, score 95. Do you guys understand? Let's print it out and see. Can you see now, guys? So now I is 0. When I say telling it length, we are getting the length, total length of this now. So we have 6 students approximately, right? So can you see we have 6 students? So now for this now, to first get what? Let students class 101 of 1. Console.log students plus I plus 1, 0 plus 1. So students 1, this is what this actually did. Then for let detail, is getting our what? Detail in students. Console.log detail, which is the key, name, plus student detail, the name itself, it fetched it. Then it will now go again, fetch the second key score, then give what? The score value 95. Can you see? The same thing for the second, the same thing for the third, the same thing for the fourth, the same thing for the fifth, the same thing for the sixth. Are we good to go, guys? Do we understand this? Okay. So now this is a catalog. We're going to be getting the total amount. Okay. So now let's add more to this. So who can tell me how many How many keys do we have here, guys?
I think there are three.
3. Very good. Let's make the object 5. Laptop. Let's just say the phone or a tablet. Okay. So we have 5 objects in an array. So first, I'm printing the name of the text store, global text store. Now, I'm telling it to repeat this thing 35 times. It's going to form a line like this 35 times. And the total, we want to calculate the total of the amount that we made in this global text code and text store. So so now we're going to set it to 0 because we don't know anything yet. So for us to get this total, we first need to enter into our arrays. So we'll now say let product of catalog. We've entered the array now. So now we can pick out our objects after entering the array. So now we'll now say console.log product.name. The product.name, we can say product.name because we've told it that now this single one is called a product based on what we did. We entered it, let's product of catalog. So we entered this. This is a product. This one line is a product on its own. So we can now say product.name. So product.name, which is laptop, coffee maker, sneakers now. Dot padded, I already told you what padded means, the space 20. So this is going to give you 19 spaces after the name of the product itself. Do you understand now? So product dot padded is 20, right? Then we now put product dot price dot to fixed. So we're not accessing the prices of this one product now. This one product. Now dot to fixed because this is a float, if you guys can notice now. This is a float number. So I'm telling it after calculating, sorry, that this should be in 2 decimal places. We have not calculated yet. So this should be in 2 decimal places now. So now I've accessed the name of the product and the price of what? The product. Now, with this, I can now say total is now going to be product what? Dot price. So it's going to add all the prices of all these products together. Then, and I said repeat this line that we did here, this equal to line. Then I say total is what? I'm not going to fix the total to what? 2 decimal places. This dot to fixed is a global method that we can use to put our float into 2 decimal places. If I want to use it to 3 decimal places, I'll put 3 here. If I want to use to 1 decimal place, I'll put 1 here. Do you understand? So now let's save and work this now and see how it will look like. So can you see now? We printed global text store. Now this is the line that we printed equal to dot repeat 35 times when it was repeated 35 times now. So this is my laptop now. This is the price. It's got the price like we said. So let product of catalog. This is a product on its own. Now print inside this for now. Product.name.padded. Product.name. This is laptop. Then add space of 20, approximately 19. Then pick the product dot price fixed dot to 2. So the product, then 2 decimal places. And it did that for all the products. Because I told you the let of automatically has what increments. We don't need, so it will print everything now. Now the total price of everything we have printed here now. Total, it will not add everything together. Total is what 1,470.95 dollars. Do we understand? Guys, do we understand?
Yeah, please. For me, I don't understand pad and 20. I don't know. It is the line which
Okay.
the line which they I don't know if you can explain to me.
Where
Pad,
from where don't you understand? Is it everything?
yes, pad and 20 and to fix it.
Huh?
Pad and 20
Okay,
and to
dot
fix
to fix. Dot to
products
fix
that
is a global method, just like the length method, right? So we used to use it to when we have a float number and we want to tell it how many decimal places you should use. Let's say you have a number of 10.48900. You now want to tell it print to 2 decimal places. Let's say A equal to, right, this. So I want to say console.log. Now let's see this now. Let me run this. 10.46. So it approximated this towards 2 decimal places. If you also want to do it to 3 decimal places, you can do it to 3 decimal places. So that's what we use it for here. So what else would you understand? And include it and run through it again.
other it is pad end.
So padding is used to add space to something. So if you have a string or a character, that's why if you remember the other classes, we converted those things to string so that we can add the spaces. If you add this, so this pattern now, to just give you a space of something like this. To give you a space of something like this. So this is one space. So this pattern now, if you count, if you check this now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now, approximately, it's giving you 15 spaces after the end of this. Total space of padding is 20. But after counting, I think after counting whatever we have here, it's giving you what? 15 spaces. Whatever value we've entered here now. And this one is going to give us how many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Because after counting, I'm coming guys. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So it's starting from here, the first letter of whatever you've put here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this is your 20. So the same thing goes for this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Can you see now, guys? So this is your pattern. We use it to ensure that there's alignment. So it adds spaces to it. It starts from your first word and it adds the spaces. So that's what we use. So that's just it. It's just added space between these objects. That's all. Is there any other thing that is confusing you, Bulaya?
Yes, now it is clear. And repeat it repeated 35 times.
Okay, this. Look at this thing you're seeing here. Okay. So this is this. This is equal to. This is a repeat. Is a method. We can use it to repeat things. So I now told you that you should repeat this equal to 35 times. So if we are counting this now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Can you see now? It repeated this 35 times. So that's what formed this word sequence. That's all. It's not something hard or complex. Do you guys understand? Okay. So we'll go on to the next. Classes. I think this is our last topic. So a class is a template for creating objects with shared structure and behavior. So let's assume you have an object now, but this object has characteristics, but you want to create another object again that has the same characteristics. So we use a class to just define it, because with that class you can use inheritance to give the the um the characteristic of that object to the other one without repetition. So it's just a template for creating objects with what shared structures and behavior. So we have let's say we have a class of person. I'll first define it first for you. We use what class to define a class. So now we use this. So now a constructor, you now use a constructor to tell us the attributes or the characteristic of this person now. So let's say this person has a what? A name and what? A age. Now we need to tell it that this is the age and this is the what. We now use a this. So we use a this dot name equal to name, and this dot age equal to age. Tell us that this is the name and this is the age. This is automatic for every class you create in JavaScript. Do you guys understand this? Okay. So now let's say I want to add a method called greet now inside this object now. I'll just tell it greet is a method. Now, so I'm telling it to greet. Now, if I'm calling greet as a function, I'll tell it what? Greet. Hello, my name is this dot name and I am what? This dot age. I'm going to call this dot name from here. I'm going to call this dot age from what? Here. Now, do you guys understand? Okay. So now let's instantiate this now. We have to create an instance of what? This person now. So I can say const person1. Yes. I'll use new, the word new, to define the instance of the person. Then I have to pick the name of what? The class. So person. Then how many attributes do I have here? Name and age. So I have to tell it this is the name and this is the age of this person. So let's say name is Alice and age is 30. Now I want to greet the person. Now I have to call this person one what's my method dot what? Greet. And it's a method, so I have to use these brackets here and add my syntax. So if I do this now, let's print this now. Hello, my name is what? Alice and I am what? 30 years old. Do you guys get this now? If I want to access person, if I want to change the age now, let's say I'm doing 25. I'll save this, then I'll now print it again now. So let's check this. Can you see this now? My name is Alice and then this now. So we can also print out these personal values of these things by using Let's take this now. Console.log. See this? We use this syntax now. Person1 dot what age. Or I can just say even here. Look at this now. Dot name to access the name of this person. Let's print the name. Can you see Alice is the name of the person? So can you see how to create a class and how to access a class now, guys? Do we understand this? So these are the concepts in classes. You have a constructor. It's a special method that runs when a new object is created. And the this refers to the current instance of the class. A new is used to create an instance of a class, and a method is defined inside a class. So now let's create a class of hero. So now I have a class of hero. The constructor, it has what? 3 arguments: name, power, and city. That's the superpower of the hero. So now I have this to introduce. I want to introduce my hero now. So my hero, so I can say I am this dot name. So you get the name of the hero from here, and what from this dot city, the city of the hero, and my power is this dot power. Now that's your introduction. So now I create an instance of the hero after creating this. So I'm telling it my first hero now. The name is Thunderstrike, the power is lightning, and the city is Metro. The hero too has name is Shadow Blaze. The power is invisibility, and the city is Nicosia. So now let's check out our heroes now. Can you see it? Can you see our output? Does anybody have any question? Are we okay with this? So now we also have something called setters and getters. So we use it to set and get properties in case you want to update your properties and stuff. It just prepares your code, and it's actually better to use this to anticipate changes. So now, you know, this is actually public because we didn't set it to private. So we use this thing here to show that this is a private method. So these setters and getters now can use it to get private methods or private arguments that are set to only the users. So now let's create this hero as a private class, and okay, let me just get everything at once. So so guys, now so this is used for private now. So instead of this dot name directly, we have to use this underscore to tell them that this is a private what argument. So it's accessible to only heroes. But because we want to get it outside these heroes, we have to use the set and the get method. So now I have to set a get, and we use get to set it. Then you now set the value name. You put the bracket beside it because this is a method. So now we're going to return these dots. Look at the asterisk names to show that it is a private method. Then what? We're not setting it now. Name. We've got the private name. Now we want to set it to turn to a public name. Right? So when I set name, you can give it new name. Or if you don't want to, you can also just leave it blank. But set name. So I'm giving it now new name, because I want to check if the length is greater than 0, because I don't want them to submit a blank name for me. So if I say if new name dot length is greater than 0, then this dot name equal to new name. So this private name now I've set it to what? A public name. Else I should tell them that what name must be non-empty. You don't submit empty names for me. Then they will now use this get method to get what? The name. Then power. So the same thing goes for power. If this dot power, return this dot power. Now I'll have to set it. This dot power is equal to new power. I can also use this if method to check if the power is greater than 0 and print. Now I want to introduce my hero. My hero now. So I'm going to use console.log. You use I am this dot name because I've already set it to what? A public method. It's no longer a private method. So and my power is this dot what? Power. So now the introduce method will what? It will print the name of the hero and the power of the hero. So I'm going to instantiate my hero now. Instantiating my hero, I have what? Hero, I have to use what's new to instantiate as usual. Then the name and what? This power. Now I have to print, if I want to print the name of just the name, and I also want to update it, I can use this to update it. Then I want to introduce after updating. So now let's work this out now. Let's save and work this out. Look at this now. We used shadow blaze. That is the name. Then after updating now is now what? I am night phantom. And my power is what? Invisibility. Are we good with this?
I mean,
Do we understand?
for me, no, I don't. I don't understand.
Okay.
If you can help me, please.
So getters and setters are used for private methods. And how do you know private methods? Private methods use this asterisk after these dots. But if it was a public, you just see this dot name equal to name. You don't really need a setter and getters for public. So now you will start with the get name now. So when you're getting the name, you just return this dot your private name. Then you define a setters for the name. Because I want to use a public, I can tell it to set, I can use an argument inside the setters now, and or I cannot use an argument, it's left for you. So now I want to check the length of this name. I don't want the name to be empty. So when they submit names to me, I don't want the names they submit to me to be empty. So if new name dot length is greater than 0, I told them that this dot name is equal to new name, because if after they type the name, it will check if it's greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, it will now return whatever they typed. It will put it into this new name as a public method. Do you understand this? I'm waiting for you. Now, else, you tell you that no, name must not be what? Empty. It should be, name must be non-empty. So now, we are done with getting our name from private to public now for get and set. Now we need to go to power, which is the second argument. We need to get our power and return what? This dot power using this, because this is a private. Now, power, new power. So we'll now store this dot power, this private power into what? New power, the public power. Then we'll return it. So return it with this get power. Now I'm putting a method inside this class called introduce to introduce my hero. So it will print that I am this dot name, the name of the hero, and my power is this. So the power of the hero. So now after using this method inside my class, I can now instantiate. Instantiate means you can now tell us the details of whatever you've been doing, whether it's a person, a student, a class, or a hero. So we use the new word to instantiate whatever we want to do. It's a constant new. Then you put the class, whatever you started as the name of the class, which is this hero. So I put what new hero. Then I'm not telling it we have what 2 arguments. So you need to state whatever you want to represent this name and power. So I'm going to put that here now. I'm using shadow blaze for name and an invisibility for what power. So now when I'm printing, I can print just the name. So I'll use this now. I've stored this value inside this hero here. So I can print the hero dot name, which will give me shadow blaze. I can print hero dot in, invisibility of dot power, which will give me what invisibility. But now I want to update it, so I have to say hero.name equal to night phantom. So it will now update it to change the shadow blaze to night phantom. So when I now print my introduce method, instead of printing I am shadow blaze, power is invisibility, we now put I am night phantom, power is what invisibility. Do you understand now? So that's how they got this shadow blaze and night phantom and my power. Do you understand? So inheritance. So this is one of the advantage of class. It allows us to inherit. Sorry guys, I need to check this. So it allows us to inherit. So now I have a class called hero. Now I have another class called superhero. So now the word will define, you first define your class, the first class first, put your constructors. So this one is a public, so we don't need to use setters and getters. Then you introduce them using this now. Now I have another second class, superhero. So now you use the word extends hero so that we can inherit the characteristics of this hero here. So superhero will inherit the the characteristics of hero. So now I can now use this name and power here. So the only characteristic of this superhero is what city, because it inherited name and power from what hero. So we just put this dot city, we define it here, city. And we use the super word to what? To call the parent constructor. So we're telling it now super. This name and power is gotten from what? This hero, which is the parent constructor. So now I have a method called defend. So I will now access, because I've already called this name here, I can now access it inside my what? My hero, my superhero. So this dot name defend this dot city. This dot city is the what? It's a characteristic of the superhero, but it's not a characteristic of the parent, so we can't access it here. But because we use the super keyword here and we are using the extend, we are inheriting from the parent, we can now access the name from the parent. So it's just like you inherit your parent's surname. So we're inheriting the name of the parents now. And we're not using defend to defend the city that the superhero is in. So now we first instantiate what your hero. So I'm telling you that now hero is what new superhero. So I'm just going straight to define my superhero. You know the superhero has the three what? The three keywords, name, power, and city. Instead of me defining my hero first, then going to my superhero. So I'm defining my hero, then I'm instantiating my hero with my superhero using the new. So new superhero is now what? Shadow blaze, invisibility, and Nicosia. That's the city. So name, power, and city here. So now I can now use hero.introduce, which is just going to print I am this dot name, my power is this. Then I can also use hero.defend, which is going to be printing name and defend. So let's check this out and print. Can you see now? Do we understand this? Guys, do we understand?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So static method are method that belongs to class itself. We cannot, it doesn't belong to instances. So I have a class called math helper. So math helper has a static method called square n. So this square n and return n times n. So you know that for us to instantiate a class, we need to define new and this and that. But with static method, we don't need to instantiate, we just use it directly. So we just put math helper dot what square of 5. This will now return the answer. And if it is not a static method, you have to first start saying um um let's say calculate equal to new of what math helper. Do you understand? Then you now put the details or whatever you need. But no, it doesn't work that way here. With static method, you just go straight in. All you have to do is just put your static method straight in. So and you use your class dot your static method. So do we understand the static method now? Okay. So so classes often manage collection of data like arrays of item or nested objects, right? So let's just look at this example. You understand better. So I have a class of team, and this team now has an argument of name. So now inside this team now, I have an array called members, right? And we set this array called members to null, empty. So now I define a method called add member, and I'm adding what? This hero to it. This is the argument hero. So now this dot members dot push. We know that the push method is used to push something into an array. I'm pushing what? Hero now. So when I now list members, if I want to list, let's say I'm adding more than one member now. I want to list them. So this dot members dot for each. We know the for each method is printing one by one, right? It's printing one by one. So H. So we're telling that the first member is H. Each member should be H. This is a function. So I'm printing H dot name. So what is the name of the hero with power H dot power? So now let's say we have a team. Instantiate it. New team guidance. So this is my guidance. So my team is guidance. This is the name of the team. We're now adding members. Name, flash, power is speed. I'm adding another member. Storm, power, name storm, power is weather control. If I now tell it team dot list members, it will not print the name with the power. So let's run this and see now. Flash with power speed, storm with power weather control. Do you guys understand this? Glo, do you have something to say?
No. I try just to understand it. Thank you.
Huh? You understand it?
Yeah,
Yes, I understand, but I think maybe we were recording. I will watch and I will have a good understand because now I'm dozing. Sometime I'm watching, so I think it will be okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear you very well. We're almost done though. This is the last topic. What were you saying? What did you say?
I say that I will come back. I will come back with a recording, and I will have a best understanding because now I don't understand them. But it is okay. We can continue. Mm.
Okay, let me just quickly run through it again, right? So you have you know how to get this, right? Team. You have a constructor of name. So we can nest an array inside a class. So we are nesting, we are putting this array inside a class, these are members. But we're going to set it to null. So now we had a method called add member, and it's taking an argument of hero. So now inside this dot members dot, we're pushing this member called hero. So now this hero is a member of this team, right? Now when we now want to list members, we're using this dot members. This is the members of this empty array now. Then for each means one of the arrays, the first one array, then second array, the third array. We're now printing h dot name, first array, the name of the person with the power. It will now go again. You know the for each, it will it has its own um iteration. It will keep increasing until we are done with the list. So if you add another like this now, we add the first member. I didn't know it was only one we added. Then it will only print flash with power speed. But we're adding two members now. We added another member, Stormer. So that's why it's printing two. So after this, because we didn't add any other members, it stopped printing. So that's just what it is all about. Do you understand better now?
Yes, thank you. Mm.
Okay. So now we're going to be creating an employee tracking system. We have just two exercises. After these two exercises we are done, you have your projects that you have to submit. So let's go through this. So we're creating an employee tracking system. So first we'll create the name of the employee. Excuse me. Then we'll create their role, which is their job title, then the salary in dollars. Then we'll now use is present, which is a boolean, to check if the employee is present or not. That if they are clocked in or not. We now add a method called clocking. We set is present to be true. So for example, we are saying print Sarah Williams manager has clocked in. So inside this method now, we'll now say print Sarah Williams manager. That's the name, the role as is present as clocked in. Do you understand? Then we also have another method called clock out. So now we now set is present is equal to what? False here. So because we set the is present equal to false, we now print name. Clocked out, that's clocked out salary. So for we create an array of staff containing 3 employees using this employee class. That means we're instantiating now. Then we now simulate attendance. We clock in for the first 2 employees and clock out for all employees using a loop. So now let's do this. No. Okay guys, so they say we should define our employee code class with name, role, and salary. So we are using the public settings. So we have the name, role, salary. Then I say we should add this dot is present to be what? false. Default should be false. So we are defining is present to be false now. Now, they say we should define a method called what? Clocking, and set is present to be true. So we define a method called clocking. This dot is present is now true because that's what. And I say we should print Sarah Williams manager. So that's name, role as what? Clocked in. So we now put this dot name, this dot role as what? Clocked in according to what they said. Guys, note that we use this whenever we want to use this print, right, in JavaScript. That means we are fetching an existing value. Okay, this is just for printing strings. Please note that down. So now this dot name, we're going to get this name from here and this role from here as clocked in. So now we'll go to the next instruction here. It said what? Add a method called clockout. Set is present is false. So clockout method, this dot is present is equal to false. Now they now say that we should do what again? Print Sarah William clocked out. This dot name clocked out. Then they say we should add what? Salary. Since you have clocked out, you're getting your salary. This dot salary now. Now, they now said we should do what next? Create an array called staff containing 3 employees using the employee class. So we are instantiating an array, but we are going to be doing 3 now. So that means staff is now what? Array is what? I told you array is done with this. So we'll now put new employee. Staff 1 name is Sarah Williams. What is the role? She's a manager. Salary is 5,000. The second array, our staff is what? Employee. Instantiate Michael Johnson is a developer and the salary is 4,500. We have another employee, Lisa Chen. She is a designer and the 4,200. So we have instantiate, we have do what? Create an array of staff containing 3 employees using the employee class. Now we should simulate attendance. We should call the clock in and call the clock out. So we'll now do staff of 0. Because it's an array, we have to use this 0 dot clock in. Staff of 1 is clocking in and staff 2 is clocking in. Then I say you should call the clock out too. We call staff 1 clock out, staff 2 clock out. You can also call staff 0 clock out. So now let's do this and check what happens now. Sarah William, manager, has clocked in. Michael Johnson, developer, has clocked in. Lisa Chen, designer, has clocked in. And Michael Johnson clocked out. The salary is 4,000. Lisa Chen clocked out. Salary is 4,200. Meanwhile, our Sarah Williams has not clocked out. Do we understand this mini program? Let's go
Yes,
to the
please,
last program.
please,
Yeah?
just can you explain the last line of code? Staff, yes, staff.
0. We access arrays. We access
Yes,
array with this indentation. So 0, then dot whatever method you want to do. So this is like global. We access arrays with this because normally if it was just a method like let staff equal to just put staff dot clock in. Do you understand? But because it is not like that, it is an array. We are using staff of 0, staff of 1. So we are telling you staff of 0. The first staff is 0. The second staff is 1. The third staff is 2. Do you understand?
yes, yes. Mm.
So now I think we are building. Let's build the last project. We are building a book tracking system. Now, let's check our instructions. Quit. Sorry, I guess. Okay. Let me quickly redraft this. Title author called okay now. Sorry guys. I think I made a mistake. Wow. Okay. So now they say we should create an object called book with the following properties: name, which is the name of a book, the title, the author, title. Okay, sorry, title, not name. You can say the name of a book is the title. So title, the author, then the ISBN number. So now they now said that we should do that. Then we should now said if available is true, set it to false. So that means if available, that means automatically available should be true in the what in the class, because set it to false. So we should create a method called borrow. They said add a method borrow. If available is true, set it to false and print the book title has been borrowed. So this is a borrow method now to know if somebody has borrowed the book. So if this dot available equal to what? False. So we have set it to false now. Console.log this dot title has been borrowed. Else console.log sorry, this dot title is currently unavailable. So if this has been borrowed, if this is available, then we'll tell them that this somebody has come to borrow it. But if it is not even available in the first place, we should tell them that what it is currently unavailable. That means that's already been borrowed before you came. So now they will not have it. They now said what? Create another method called return book. Set is available to true and print book title has been returned. So now we have another method called return book. This dot available will now be set to what? True. Console.log this dot title has been what? Returned. Do we understand this? So now going to the next instruction here. It said create an instance of the class let book1 equal to new book 1984 Georgia Orwell 1-2. So now let book1 equal to new book, instantiating it now. That means the title is 1984, author is George Orwell, and the ISBN is this. So now they now said we should do what? Test the method. We should call the book1.borrow twice to simulate borrowing and reborrowing. Then call book1.returnBook to return the book. Now, so we'll call the book1 to borrow first time. We have borrowed it first time. Now, Book 1 does borrow. If we now borrow it the second time, tell us what it is currently unavailable because you have borrowed it the first time. Now we'll now call in the return book to tell it that what the book has been what returned. So guys, let's run this and see now. Can you see? 1984 has been borrowed. Sorry, 1984 is currently unavailable. Then 1984 has been what? Returned. Let's assume I want to create another one. Let me do it again. So now let's run this again now. Let me add a space. Can you see? To kill a monkey has been borrowed. Sorry, to kill a monkey is currently unavailable. And to kill a monkey has been what? Returned. So are we good to go, guys?
Yes.
Do you guys understand this topic so far, please?
Yes.
Okay, so now this is your project. Bakery inventory and sales system. You have to create a base item with name, price, category, right? Then add a method called getInfo that returns a string summary of your items. Name of the item, this is the price and the category. Now extend bakery item class. So create another item called bakery item. Just extend it with whatever you want to add. So now add quantity and expiry date. So the method you want to add now is restock method. So the restock method is going to take an argument called amount and is expired to check if it is expired against the current date. Now create another class, properties, items, array of name and quantity, timestamp. Then method, calculate total inventory. So total amount, we've done that in one of the classes. Most of these things we've done already. To compute total cost. Now inventory array. So this is your inventory array. We're using an array, so you know how to get an item in an array. So now then we'll now use loops to filter expired item, group the item by category using object, and simulate a customer and update inventory. So this one is a bonus challenge. You feel up to it. The second one is RPG character simulation engine. Create a stat class, properties, strength, agility, intelligence, and health. So you should add a method boost that takes stat and amount. So properties should be name, level, stats. Should have abilities. Then method level up, increase the level and boost the stat. Use item name, modify stats or inventory. Battle the opponent. Simulate a fight using loops and stats comparison. Now, this one should not be a create a game engine class. So the game engine should manage an array of characters. It should have method simulate battle, character 1 and character 2. Then generate a leaderboard using sort and map. Now use loop to traverse the inventory and apply effects. You should loop through the abilities and trigger effects. Compare the stats between characters. Then this one is the bonus challenge. So guys, you have to understand these things we've done before you can access this. Try this on your own. You can use chat or AI, but when you use chat, make sure that you understand and do it by yourself after using. But if you really understand what we've done so far, you should be able to do this by yourself. So That'll be all. I'll be sending the notes to you guys now. Just wait, let me take attendance, please. Okay, I guess that's all. So thank you so much, guys, for coming, and I hope you guys understood and enjoyed the class. See you guys Monday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Bloody. Okay. Bye, guys.